so I'm going to go around and I want to ask everybody. And I'll start with you, Humberto, because you look like you're about to jump at me. And then I'll go to Steve and then you boys. Cute little boys. Humberto, what was your overall take? We all thought that he was going to be drugged up because the State of the Union was 3 months ago. He looked presentable. We set the bar. Everybody was like, oh, wow, he's back. What do you think happened and what was your take?
They took him to Camp David for 5 days so he can rest and prep. 5 days. Yeah. We didn't have a president. He was at Camp David resting, getting prepped.
I think it was 10 days,
And this is what he does.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably the worst performance
ever.
By
the way, he said 10 days, actually. It was actually
10 days.
He's been gone for 10 days.
Yeah. 10 days, and this is it.
Yeah. Yep.
Jesus
This is what you get for 10 days.
This is what you get.
And so they had him do 10 days of hard education, and then they did hard labor.
Hard labor.
Hard labor.
Hard education, they were like alphabet.
But so then they have him do a 90-minute mock debate prep thing so he can practice standing. This is literally what CBS said, to practice standing. And then Ron Klain, his old chief of staff, was like, well, Trump has an advantage because, he stands for 2 to 3 hours at a time rambling and ranting. Yeah. So, that's why he has an advantage. Not because Joe can't stand. It's just because Trump likes to stand. Yeah.
Like, that's when I think we live in a late stage empire. Like, when standing is something that needs to be practiced.
Holy shit.
We need to practice
Not
standing.
shitting in your pants.
Well, imagine that the president wasn't presidenting for 10 days. You didn't see him. He was getting ready.
10 days. By the looks of what we witnessed last night, he has not been presidenting for the past 3.5 years.
100%.
At this point, like, we can joke, but like there was a portion last night where I genuinely felt sad, not just for him, but for our country. And then it made me concerned. Pat brought up a great point last night. Our enemies are watching.
That's
on the world stage,
national security.
Our president went out and could not form a coherent sentence. He stumbled, fumbled, and bumbled his way through an hour-and-a-half debate where he lost. The only talking point that he could have hit home and won with was Roe v. Wade, and he made no sense when he had the chance to talk about it. At this point, how are they not bringing up Section 4 of the 25th Amendment and getting this guy out of office? He cannot execute the duties of the president. And while it's funny and we can laugh at him staring off into the distance and his weird answers and the way Trump eviscerated him, Trump took it lightly.
Yeah,
Trump could have demolished him last night.
Yep.
There were multiple opportunities where it's weird. Trump showed grace and didn't destroy a feeble, senile old man. At this point, release the Robert Hur tape. Yeah. Why are we continuing to keep the American public hidden from what is clearly obvious to everybody and now the entire fucking world? Tell me that was a cheap fake. Tell me that was an hour and a half of a cheap fake last night. Did you guys see the footage that was leaked of Biden's wife guiding him off the fucking debate stage?
Jill, it took 5 minutes because there's like a 3-step tier. That's normal. See if anybody could do it. She held him and guided him, and then she goes on after, and she's like, "Hey, honey, you did good. You answered all the questions right. You're a good boy." She tapped him on his head.
Benny, I do that. That's the way I talk to my 4-year-old when we were potty training him. Yeah. You did a good job. Who did a good job?
Boy.
You did a good job.
Boy.
That's the way I talk to my dog. And that is the first lady of the United States talking to the leader of the free world. It's embarrassing
Benny,
that this is allowed to happen.
2 weeks ago, I was sitting right next to Don King. You guys know who Don King is?
Yes.
Well, I was sitting right next to Don King, and he was there. He organized a fight here in the casino. And he not only had to get on the stage, the ring, he will go under the ropes and stand and present the fight. Like, he's older than Biden, and he was able to go duck under the rope.
92. He's 92, Don.
92, and he was able to get into a ring. Even the ring girls had trouble doing it. Yeah, that we appreciate. But anyhow, what's going on? He can't even get on and off a stage. And I can see a guy in Kabul going "Oh, we should have done something," because everyone is realizing we haven't had a president for the last 3 years. It's unbelievable.
Vinny, you think he can last through the next 4? If he won re-election by some weird miracle, even if he is the nominee, do you honestly believe that guy can make it through the next 4 years?
Absolutely not. There's no way that that Joe Biden can. No, dude, they're about to shift on him very, very quickly. I don't know which one it's going to be. I don't know how. I don't know the move. I don't know the move. Yeah. Gavin Newsom was there like the slithering snake that he is. Mm-hmm. He's the only one there, and he's sitting there and he goes, "Oh, remember that, Shane? We saw this morning." He had a look where he was just like, "Oh." this past 4 years has been a masterclass. He is such an evil, disgusting,
a used car
vile human being, bro. And whoever's sitting in front of him, dude, I wouldn't be. I'm getting goosebumps because I'm just disgusted at this guy. What do you think?
We got the
take away?
leader of the leader of the free world here, and before it starts, I mean, they're doing the opening credits, and my heart is pumping like I'm watching a horror movie. 'Cause I am nervous about what's about to happen, and unfortunately, it met all of my expectations. I mean, it is just, we can't. I was talking to my buddy this morning. He goes, you know what? The left is becoming kind of cultish, where it's like, nothing's wrong here, nothing to see here, everything's fine, everything's fine. And we're beyond the point where we can deny this anymore, And if you deviate even a little bit from any one of their talking points, you're ostracized, you're out, right? It's almost this wild thing to watch, but you can't argue the most powerful nation in the world that we have to have a leader that's powerful. And you have this guy, it can't be.
It can't be. But here's the thing. It drives me crazy. And me and Shane were talking about this early this morning. And it's like I'm tired of people acting like this failed presidency is because of his old age. No, it's the Democratic policies. So no matter who comes in, Shane, whoever comes in is going to do the same shit.
Yeah, this is the thing though. After last night, we're seeing this shift from everything's going great to actually everything's bad, but it's just because Biden's old. Yeah. Biden's a bad candidate because he's senile, but that's actually not the truth. The truth is that the Democratic ideas themselves are failing on a mass scale, wherever they are, wherever they're implemented, and that is really what's wrong. Plus, Biden is senile, but this is what they're going to run with.
So why are they not, again, why is nobody bringing up the 25th Amendment? Why are we continuing to let him, because guess what? Okay, I don't believe, I don't know if Donald Trump could beat Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom's record is terrible, but he's a great politician.
Yes.
He's a great politician, but a terrible leader. Because look at the state of California and what he's done to it. Michelle Obama has no political experience. Donald Trump didn't have political experience, but Donald Trump was also an established businessman, a billionaire who had run companies all over the world. Michelle Obama is famous for being married to a guy who was president. What makes her a qualified candidate? The only person in the DNC right now is either Hillary, which because of her Secretary of State work and working as a senator, she at least has a history in government. Who else do they have?
John Kerry?
People are going to think well, we just get 8 more years of Obama if we put Michelle in there. She'll just go, honey, what do you think? I really think America will say, well, really, he'll just kind of be pulling the strings behind that. And I think that's
dangerous as shit too, because think about it. Right now, guys, all it is you just plug. It's almost like a fuse box. You take that fuse out, you put another one. It doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter, Robbie, who's going to be the person. It's not like they're going to be in control. It's the Obama, it's the Hillary, it's the deep state, it's that swamp that makes all the decisions. They just need the face.
But
let me ask you a question. Well, so let me ask you a question on that. So the biggest thing was the biggest knock before was about Kamala Harris and replacing her. We can't replace a woman of color as the vice president. Yeah. Okay, the 25th Amendment comes through, and they decide that, okay, he is feeble, he cannot execute the duties of president. She becomes president of the United States. Yes. Don't you think that the Republicans have a much better shot of having Trump beat Kamala Harris than a Trump going up against Gavin Newsom? Because how do they remove her as president if she ends up taking the seat and taking that office because he can no longer hold it in the next 5 or 6 months leading up to the election? Who has a better shot? Trump has a much better shot of beating Kamala Harris than he does Gavin Newsom, Michelle Obama, Hillary Clinton, Bernie, or anybody else that they run out. So that's why I'm like, let's go with the 25th Amendment. Let's get this motherfucker out.
Here's the thing, though, there's another angle, I think, where the media class is the one that wants Biden out now, but the people who are in Biden's cabinet, I think, want Biden to stay because they're allowed to play fun this whole time. We don't have a real boss. He's not actually competent. He's not telling us to do anything. We can spend all of our time pursuing our bullshit agendas like Trans Visibility Day on Easter. You really think Biden came up with that? That was some 27-year-old intern at the...
to remind them that it was that day.
Exactly. Yeah. And so what you actually have here, I think, is this whole revolt of the middle managers of the Democratic Party who love having this weak executive so that they can go and do whatever they want. They don't want a Gavin. They don't even want a Kamala Kamala, who will come in with a competent mind somewhat and pursue their own agenda, they actually like this because they can. None of them could ever individually become president. They lack the charisma. But underneath a senile old man, they can pursue all the
It's
shit
like
they
having
want
a
to do.
substitute teacher. You
Yeah.
can do whatever you want. Yeah.
Well,
You can burn the whole thing down.
This is such a unique point in history where we have a former president, a recent former
Yep.
president, and a current president, and we can side by side compare it, and there is no comparison.
Yep.
And I wish Trump would have drove that home last night. I thought he did a good job. I thought he restrained himself. I was proud of him that he didn't get too crazy, but I thought he missed a lot of opportunities.
What was
to
it? Give me.
articulate
You have
Well,
one.
so I watched this reaction from Marco Rubio on CBS afterwards, and I mean, you better get out your Kleenex and your lotion when you watch this
Wait,
because
are we
this
gonna
was amazing.
Oh,
I mean,
really? Oh,
and
Marco?
I have just one clip of one question. It went on like this over and over, and I just thought, man, I wish Trump would have said these things. It was so.
And this is post debate.
yeah, post debate,
Okay.
Marco Rubio, CBS.
And where do we start, Stevie?
Say
Right now. So where do we start? Go ahead, Cal.
Biden tonight pointed out that even Donald Trump's former vice president, Mike Pence, has not endorsed Trump and that he knows him very well. Should that be a concern for voters?
No, I think because I go back to the point where voters are going to be concerned about it. I'm talking about like real people in everyday life, not people that follow politics as a sport or a hobby, but real people in everyday life. What they know is it costs a lot more money to put gas in my car. Eggs cost a lot more. I can tell you that firsthand from just yesterday. Milk. I mean, the price of housing, the mortgage rates, all of these things are worse off than they were just 4 years ago. And people are going to, that's what they're going to vote on. And they're also going to vote on the fact that the world is on fire. We've got 2 major wars and the prospect of a very dangerous third one between Hezbollah and Israel. We have Taiwan increasingly threatened by China in ways that are unpredictable in the years to come. I think there's a sense that ISIS is back. The Taliban now controls Afghanistan. All these terrible things that have happened. And I think these are the things that weigh on Americans when they make this decision, not who endorsed who or those kinds of things that I think fascinate people in politics, but aren't really going to matter to people that are going to get up in a few hours and go to work.
You brought up about the war
I mean,
in Gaza
every
right
time
now.
they came at him,
Yeah.
he dodged, deflected, and had a perfect answer. He answered the question, but it was like, he didn't let it. At one point, they tried to like turn this whole thing into a racist thing about the black jobs.
Of course.
And it was just so well articulated, and I just thought like that was the focus that should have been last night. Compare yourselves, your lives now to where you were.
Yeah.
And we're done.
And it's
Results.
crazy, Steve.
Drop the
And,
mic.
and it's it absolutely boggles my mind that we saw today, even people, the stat, Robbie, of who won the debate. 33% of Americans are out there, and they are so brainwashed and so loyal to a party that doesn't give a shit about you. By the way, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm nowhere. I get to just talk shit.
You're
all right.
an
I will vote.
anti-patriot.
But hold on. I will vote for Donald Trump. He wasn't a Republican. He was going to go independent, but he had to pick a party. How the hell in your right mind can you sit there and say this past 4 years you're like, I'm good? Are you that blind? Are you that stupid? Or are you just so loyal to your freaking party that doesn't give a shit about you? You can't admit it. Umberto, if I'm me personally, if I was on the other side, I'd be like, all right, guys, enough is enough. I'd be like a Michael Rappaport. I'd be like, dude, what is happening? Nothing. And when you ask them what's going right, what was Trump's threat to democracy? Please tell me what was he supposed to do then that he's going to do now that he didn't do? Where's that fear? The Russian Putin bullshit? It's all bullshit. Bro, Americans, especially these liberal, leftist, Democrat scumbags, they all have Stockholm syndrome. They have fallen in love with their abuser, and the abuser is the Democratic Party because they think that they love them and they care for them. They don't give two shits, but they're stuck. They're stuck to it. Just be open and just admit the fact that we are in worse shape than we were 4 fucking years ago, all right? Donald Trump, he's going to have to come in and patch this shit up and fix it and then hope to God that the future after him is going to be positive.
They're in too deep.
I think that so it's really weird. The conversation among the Republican Party going into last night's debate was who is going to be Trump's VP pick, and will they be in attendance? Will he announce? After last night's, I look and I go, if he's going against Biden, and I literally wrote this on Twitter, he could have Mohammed Atta as his vice presidential candidate, and people go, this is the better option than having Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. But literally, the guy, I honestly don't believe it matters if he goes up against Kamala and Joe. It really depends if they make a switch with Gavin Newsom. I really hope that somebody wakes up in the Democratic Party and they go, look what we've done to ourselves. Because think about it. In 2016, they fucked Bernie out of the nomination.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
For Hillary.
WikiLeaks released it with Assange.
In 2020, they again fucked
Bernie
Bernie out of the nomination for Joe Biden. And now they are at a point where they've run this feeble, senile old man. They've tried, shame on all of them. Karine Jean-Pierre for getting up. Because this is what the American public has not seen. We've seen tidbits of it. We've seen it in 30-second Instagram videos and going viral when he freezes and maybe shits his pants on Twitter. But we have not been exposed to the sad reality of what Joe Biden is until last night. And shame on every single one of them, including Jill Biden, for hiding this from the American taxpayers. We're funding you fucks. We are paying your salary, and that... I almost said the C word. Karine Jean-Pierre can get up there with paid for by your hard-earned tax dollars, your tax dollars, yours, our parents, our children's, whoever has children of age that are working. We're paying to be lied to and be hidden to. Like, it was embarrassing for the whole country. How, like, are you proud to be an American right now after watching the leader of the free world the way he debated last night? It's embarrassing.
Embarrassing. And then, mind you, when we have been pointing this out for how long, people
we're on tape for years.
Yeah. What do you mean? But you know what? We're crazy.
You're crazy.
You
must love Putin.
You love
must
Putin.
think that Ukraine should fall and Putin should own everything.
Yeah.
And you must love Kim Jong-un too.
Yeah.
Like, you're fascist.
Yeah.
No, we just look and we were like, hey, things are weird about this, and we kept pointing it out. And then lo and behold, an hour and a half, you see it.
And Rob, do you think it was on purpose? You think?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I want to ask you.
Why did they do the? Because guess what? If they're gearing Newsom up for a run, remember how you said you have a very interesting case study, and Pat's talked about it. You have a former president and a current president. Well, now you have a case study of two people from the Democratic Party that have participated in debates in 2024. You have Newsom, who went up against Ron DeSantis, and you have Trump and Biden, right? So you have a case study for another Democratic candidate who did a debate and how they fared compared to what you saw last night. So that's why I say this has been a long time coming, and they planned this. This is why the debate was in June, earlier than any time ever in history. And that's why two governors got the national spotlight for a week 4 months ago to debate each other. When has that ever happened in history ever before?
Go ahead, Stephen.
You guys have a lot of have you, I mean, it's not a fun thing, but have you watched a family member, somebody in decline in old age?
100%.
My Nana.
And you see, like, I'm, after being a cop for 15 years also, you can tell, like, when the decline, like when the ledge happens and you're on the downhill slide.
Yes.
And I mean, and I don't say this in jest, or I don't take any pleasure in it, but it's happening. And so you're talking about the difference, and there's no way you can make it 4 more years. And even a few more months, I'm even worried about November. Is this guy going to be, able to...
And let me do this. I'm going to go to you, Shane. And Pat did it, but I went on ChatGPT. I put the early signs of dementia, and I think this is early, but this has set in for Joe Biden. Are you guys ready? Tell me which one doesn't apply. Doesn't. Memory loss, difficulty performing familiar tasks, language problems, disorientation, poor judgment, problems with abstract thinking, misplacing things, documents, Corvette, garage, changing mood and behavior. He's yelled, he gets angry, and then he goes back. Personality changes, loss of initiative. If that's not, and you nailed it, elderly abuse, and Rob, I'm happy you said that. Shame on every single one of you scumbag pieces of shit, including Jill. You're not a doctor. There's more. Dr. Pepper has more of a fucking credit to be a doctor than your dumb ass. Fucking Dr. Seuss. And people are like, she's a doctor. Yeah, at giving massages. But anyway, it's like, and we say this a lot. Kelly says this a lot with me. Enough is enough. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, guys, stop. It's over. It's over. The shit show's over. And again, we're not psychics. We're telling you what's coming down the pipe. It's going to be, guys, there's only 3. Let's not pretend. Gavin Newsom, Michelle Obama, Hillary Clinton. The other two. Guys, I'm telling you, Kamala is the most unlikable person. Yeah. She's the epitome of a DEI hire where he just, the hell with their qualifications.
They know
black, black woman of color. And guess what? Look at what she's done. 0. She's the border czar. Has she even been there once? Has she been there one time? No, she has. She might have. I don't want to talk out of it, but if you're the border czar, your ass needs to be over there czarring, all right? It's a shit show.
I used to be angry at Joe. I did because, and I've admitted, I fell for the propaganda. I voted for him in 2020. I regret it. I'm sorry to them. I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
They fooled me.
You caused this, you son of a bitch.
I'm one of the 65 million or whoever.
Yeah, 81.
I used to be angry at him because I'd look at what's going on at the border, look what's going on in Ukraine. I'd be, how the fuck could this guy allow this to continue to happen? And then I watched last night, and I lost anger, and I just started feeling pity.
Yeah.
And, like, it went from, I'm not angry at him anymore. I feel bad because I don't think that guy has any idea what's going on. I'm angry at the people behind the scenes, like we mentioned, the Blinkens of the world, the Karine Jean-Pierre's.
Merrick Garland, Alejandro Mayorkas.
All of them. The deep state that is clearly just lying to you. I'm angry at them, but I feel now sad for this poor old man who he dedicated his life to public service. Whether you agree with that or not, he did it for 50 years, and now look at his legacy. Look, that's it. That's gonna be Joe Biden's legacy. Yeah, we'll talk about the Hunter Biden laptop and his daughter showering with him at inappropriate ages and all that stuff. But last night, what you saw was the final nail in the coffin of Joe Biden's political career, and it's sad to watch that. It shouldn't have gone out that way.
There was a point at the end where I'm like, maybe they should stop.
I
Let's
said
go
that
off
so
the
well.
air. I'm
There
very,
were
I'm
people
very
in our
uncomfortable.
audience yelling,
I'm very-
"Throw in the towel."
Like, let's go. But even his first answer, it was like, can you imagine taking your grandfather and being like, we want you to memorize this speech. You're going to have 2 minutes to say it. I'm like, go. And it was just like, it was
bad.
so hard to watch.
Right when he walked out, Steve, when he walked out, and guys, it wasn't,
billion. It was a billion.
When
Trillion. Wait, trillion.
Yeah, when he walked out and his hands did this, I go, oh shit. That's the joke. When you see this, and he was like, hello, how's everybody doing? Nobody was in the audience, Kelly. Oh, this is it? Kelly, this is Trump, what did he say? Mocked Biden with the, go ahead, Kelly, let's show this.
This is Trump's entrance.
Trump's entrance.
Of the United States, Donald Trump.
Like a boss. His tie is so huge.
So
That thing is taller than me. And look, he doesn't even look at him. Look.
It's so unfair. And
What
then
a boss.
There's a few other clips. I was going to say, Vinny, you made a great point last night that none of this would be possible, too, without X and Elon buying Twitter. Because, like, if we want to start from the beginning, Kelly, of these, like, the amount of memes I saw last night against Biden were insane. And from people who aren't even, like, right-wing or conservative, like, just regular people sharing these.
Jake Tapper carrying Joe Biden's... Oh, my...
Get him out of here! Oh, the internet's great.
Oh my God, that's so. What movie was that? 1942 or something?
You know what's really interesting?
Look at this.
When the entire narrative was the debate was against Donald Trump. Remember, like, oh, Donald Trump should take on this debate. CNN's going to rig it in favor of Joe Biden, and all the odds are against him. And then afterwards, the narrative shifted to, man, CNN rigged the debate for Trump. It was really weird.
Yeah,
The internet totally flipped that quickly.
But
So insane.
We load the other memes. Like, I disagree with you on the take on the debate, and I think we pride ourselves for being one conversation ahead. The conversation everyone is having right now is the conversation that the Democrat establishment is starting to have, like how bad Biden is, and that's behind. We knew this years ago.
But Humberto, you think they're starting that conversation? They know.
No,
they
but
knew.
I don't know if they
They're
do.
starting that conversation. We already talked about it for years, and now the next conversation, because I'm looking for a man in finance, 6'5", blue eyes. He did great. Trump did amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. He okay. He reminded me of the great philosopher Bear Grylls. He was able to adapt, improvise and overcome.
Like, man versus wild guy.
Yeah.
The great philosopher Bear
As he
Grylls.
said it, I went, I've never heard that guy. Is he French? Bear Grylls.
But like as Biden's not all there, Trump is sharp as a tack.
He didn't lose a step.
He didn't lose a step, and he did something different, way different than we ever seen before. He was restrained, contained. He showed grace. He was great. Come on, he didn't miss a single step.
Yep.
He beat him enough. Like one of my favorite clips, he goes like, I don't know what he's talking about. I don't think he does either.
Yeah, he
like,
goes, I don't even think he does.
there. I'm on the meme camp. I was hoping to get some really funny clips because I overwatch every single Trump clip ever made.
You and me both.
But I don't know. I don't think Trump is getting enough credit for putting out there. He was well prepped. He hit every point. Even the abortion thing, like every single question that Biden knew beforehand. You think they didn't hand him the question?
Of course they did, but for him to remember it, bro, he's 82.
Yeah.
It's not, bro. He's gone. And dude. I wish there was a camera in the room where they probably went up to Jill and Jill was like, "All right, guys, he's ready for the adrenaline and whatever." And they looked at him and they were just like, no, not this one. And she was like, wait, what? Because, bro, you see her. Listen, say what you want. She wants to stay the first lady. Don't get it twisted. She's all there in a sense. Because she's like, no. Baby, you got to hang on.
Yeah.
You got to hang on. That's what she's going to talk to.
Until it's over, like Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah. She's going to hang on to that guy forever. But listen, I mean, the next debate they're saying is what? September, a statement came out by
September
Biden's.
10th?
Yeah, Biden's team came out with a statement today. He's not dropping out. He's going to be there. The debate.
Yep.
Yeah. But guess
they're
what?
clear.
Maybe they're going to jab him up for that one. Who knows?
Or bring the better Biden.
Open the better Biden. There might be another.
Could you imagine if that was a clone that we saw?
God.
That was the best that it is. Imagine how bad the real one was.
That's the wrong clone.
Clone.
Like, well, Bubba,
Brought
you
out
know
the
what?
wrong model.
There's probably a clone of him right now at a bar going, do you see that shit? I'm better than that
I
fucking
told
guy.
you.
I'm way better than that. That's Biden number 2. I'm number 3. I'm the best.
Yeah, his chin also. We didn't touch on that. What was going on there?
The Balchinian. It's disgusting,
it's
bro.
the
It's a
worst
mess.
it's ever
I
been.
don't. He looks like shit. He looks like he's falling apart at the seams.